Arthur Schopenhauer once said, "When you look back on your life, it looks as though it were a plot, but when you are into it, it's a complete mess, just one surprise after another. Then, later, you realize it was perfect." This is going to be a video about my life, but more specifically, events that have taken place that have brought me to where I am today. My current family consists of my mother, my oldest brother Josh, who's 28, my older brother Wes, who's 20, and me. On the night of November 15th, 1999, I was born in Birmingham, Alabama. I lived there for about 2 years until my family moved out here to Carlsbad, California, when my father got a contract to build a neighborhood called Water's End. After moving to California, my parents sat me and my brothers down and told us that they were going to get a divorce. At the time, I didn't know what it meant, but the next year of my life was filled with court dates, appointments with lawyers, and custody talks. After the divorce, my mom got full custody of me and both of my older brothers. I was around 7 years old, and she was now responsible of 3 kids by herself. And to this day, I thank my mother so much for being one of the best women I've ever known in my life, and just loving and compassionate. But given the circumstances, we could not buy a house, and every single year our lease would end, and we would have to move. In total, I have lived in 6 different houses the past 10 years of my life, and I have attended over 9 different schools. This hasn't affected me too much because I've always been able to adjust quickly, and I've always loved to meet new people, and it's just something that I've just found myself to be accustomed to now. Soon after the divorce, I found myself in a depressing state. I longed for an outlet where I could express my feelings and emotions. The hobby that I chose was filmmaking. I started when I was 12 years old, and it first started off me filming my brothers skating in the backyard, and it branched off to filming my close friends at the beach surfing. And over time, I found myself truly loving this hobby. It's something where I can just share my emotions and, well, let me just show you. As you can see from the video, the majority of my content is filmed at the beach. It is my go-to place where I feel the least stress. It's both aesthetically pleasing to film, as well as a place where I can just be creative and think freely. No matter what the conditions are, there's always something to do. For this particular day in Laguna Beach, the waves were relatively flat, so we just decided to go cliff jumping. Here's how it turned out. Although filmmaking had a great impression in my childhood. Something that was even bigger was going to church. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to believe in what I believe in or that my church is better than others. But what I am going to say is that going to church helped develop ethics and morals that I use day to day in my life. It has taught me how to live my life in a way that I think is correct. It really has brought peace with me and to my family. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. The one thing I found in common with sports and activities and hobbies and church is that I created friends wherever I went. I have been blessed with the character trait to make friends quickly, and for that reason I have found a lot of people that have both needed my friendship and I also needed theirs. I choose to surround myself with people who actually want me to succeed, who actually care. I can honestly say without a doubt that my friend group now today is consisted of some of the best people that I've ever met in my life. Some of the most compassionate, some of the most caring, some of the smartest people ever. And it's true what they say. Who you surround yourself with is who you become. And I can testify to that. And if I'm going to become like my friends, well, I think I'll turn out just right. If there's one thing that I've learned so far in life, it's that your whole world can be turned upside down in a blink of an eye. On the night of March 9th, 2018, me and 3 of my close friends were involved in a nearly fatal car accident. That night, we decided to go off-roading in my close friend's truck. The driver, Dylan, unfortunately did not see a sharp turn and spun out of control. As a result of this, we fell off the side of a canyon. We rolled about 6 times, totaling about 200 feet, until eventually hitting a large bush that stopped our fall. Immediately after we stopped rolling, we all climbed out of the vehicle. Given the circumstances, we were really dizzy and it took a while for us to come to terms with what just happened. We soon realized that our friend Dylan was nowhere to be seen. We started yelling out his name and got no response back. Then we went looking for him and we found him about 15 feet away from the truck, face down and not moving. We quickly went over to him, flipped him over, and realized that he wasn't breathing. Immediately, we started CPR and had one of the other friends call 911 for help. For about 2 minutes, we saw no progress with Dylan, but eventually he started breathing on his own. So right now we're heading down to Rady's Children's Hospital to go see Dylan. It's the 4th time we've seen him, something like that, and he's been progressing really well overall. He can now talk correctly and walk by himself, so he has most of his control back, but he still suffers from short-term memory loss, so he's not fully there. He's kind of slow, so when you see him in the film, he won't be like the old Dylan that everybody knows, but he's doing well, and we're really optimistic about his future. Can't even take that on the phone. He doesn't go fast.
Dylan, is this the kind of car that you want?
What are these for?
Make it go away? Does that make it go away?
Oh. They look pretty snazzy. What's up? Joseph Campbell once said that we must let go of the life we have planned, so as to accept one that is waiting for us. You see, life is precious and ever-changing. Nobody can predict the future. But what we can do is reflect on our past and see what we did to overcome adversities, so eventually we can all experience our own growth.